Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to automatically generate creative newsletters with Google Gemini. So I manage marketing team of a travel agency where the regular task is to generate different newsletters containing features of our travel agency, providing different offers on travel destinations and etc. So regularly doing this is a time consuming and challenging task for my team. Therefore, I have decided to automate this entire process. Now I want that as soon as I'm going to add a new title in my Google Sheets for newsletter, then immediately a content should be generated automatically with the help of Google Gemini for that, and the newsletter should be added in my Google documents safely so that I can notify my team members that the newsletter is ready and they can preview it and send it to the subscribers. Now I am not going to use any kind of coding or programming skills for creating this automation. I will simply use Pabbly Connect for this, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. In this video, I am going to show you step by step that how we can generate unique newsletters from Google Gemini automatically. So as I told you, I am managing a marketing team for a travel agency where the regular task is to generate newsletters and send it to multiple subscribers. But doing this process manually every time is a time consuming and challenging task. Therefore, I have decided to use automation for this. Okay. So now I want that as soon as I'm going to add a new title along with a new date in my spreadsheet which I have created for Dream Destination newsletters. Dream Destinations is the name of my travel agency. And then immediately a newsletter content for this title will be generated with the help of Google Gemini along with all the points which I'm going to enter in the prompt over there, which will include all the necessary points which I want in the content, and immediately the content will be added to a Google document and finally it will be saved successfully. Okay, and all this process will be automated. Along with this, I'm also going to notify my team members that the template or the newsletter is generated and it is saved in a document, so the team members can review the document quickly, make the necessary changes and use it for sending to the subscribers. Okay, so here we are making the digital marketing process easy with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So we are going to create this entire automation without the requirement of any coding and programming skills, as I have told you. So let's get started. This is the home page of Pabbly Connect where we can reach by typing pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming on this home page, we will find two options: sign in and sign up for free. So in case if you are an existing user, you can directly click on sign in option. But if you are a new user, you have to click on this sign up for free button and you will be able to create your free new account just in 2 minutes with that. As you will do that, you will receive 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations with Pabbly Connect. Now, because I'm already an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in. This is all apps section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all our workflows which we have created, and we can also create different folders over here to save our workflows accordingly. Now to create a new workflow, we have to click on this create workflow option. Let's do that. Here a dialog box is appear which is asking us to provide a name to our workflow. So first of all, I'm going to give a name to my workflow. Automatically generate creative newsletters with Google Gemini. After giving the name, here I'm going to select the folder in which I want to save my workflow. You can see I have created multiple folders over here, but I want to select this AI automations for digital marketing folder to save this particular workflow. I have done that, and now I'm going to click on create. In the same manner, you can also create different folders on your dashboard to save your workflow separately. As we have done that, we can see that two windows are open in front of us. First is the trigger and the other is action. Now what are trigger and actions? Trigger and actions are the two main concepts or the principles on which the entire automation works. Here the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Let's suppose here I want that whenever I'm going to add a new title in my Google Sheets along with the date, then the response of that title should be captured over here so that we can generate the content on that title with the help of Google Gemini. So let's suppose I'm going to take Google Sheets in my trigger and Google Gemini in my action step. And here we can clearly see that when we are going to set up the connection between them, then the action is going to follow what the trigger commands. Because when the trigger happens, that means when the title will be added in our Google Sheets, then only a content for the newsletter will be generated on that title with the help of Google Gemini, otherwise not. So after understanding the concept of trigger and action, let's start setting up the connection between our applications to automate all our task of news generation. Newsletter generation. Now we'll move forward towards our trigger step. So first of all, we have to select our trigger application to start our workflow. That will be Google Sheets. So let's select that. So this is my spreadsheet dream destinations newsletter. I want that whenever I'm going to add a new row with a new title over here, then immediately the response of that row should be captured inside Pabbly Connect so that I can move forward towards generating the content. Okay. So I'm going to set up a connection between this spreadsheet and Pabbly Connect. For that, we have selected the trigger application as Google Sheets. Now we have to select the trigger event that will be new or updated spreadsheet row. Now trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. So new or updated spreadsheet row means that whenever we are going to add a new row in our spreadsheet, then immediately the workflow is going to start because the response will be captured for that. As we have done that, we can see that a webhooks URL is provided to us along with some instructions. So we have to follow these instructions step by step to set up our connection, and the URL is going to act as a bridge because it is going to transfer the data of the new row added in our spreadsheet towards Pabbly Connect. Let's copy the URL and then I'm going to tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. So I'm going to take you towards my Google Sheets. First of all, we'll go towards extensions, and here we can see the option of add-ons. When we'll click on this get add-ons, it is going to take us towards Google Workspace Marketplace. Now here we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So Pabbly Connect Webhook is the add-on which we actually need to install in Google Sheets to set up the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. As you can see, I've already installed this add-on, so I'm just going to cross this. And once you will install the add-on for the very first time, you also have to refresh your spreadsheet because then only you will be able to find your option of Pabbly Connect Webhooks under extensions. Okay. As we can see the option, we have to go towards initial setup. So now we have to perform an initial setup in order to set up our connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. In this, we have to enter two details, webhook URL and trigger column. So first of all, let's paste the URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect in this webhook URL field, and the next is trigger column. Now, the concept of trigger column says that whenever we are going to add a new row in our spreadsheet up till this column, then immediately the entire row will be sent towards webhook URL, that means towards Pabbly Connect. It is also given over here the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent to the webhook URL. So if you have 4 columns in your spreadsheet and you want that only when you're going to add a new row up till C column, then the response should be captured. So C will be your trigger column. So on whichever column you want to select that when you're going to enter the data up till that, you want to capture the response, that will be your trigger column. Here you can see that I have 2 columns in my spreadsheet A, B. B will be my trigger column because I want that as soon as a new row will be added up till the new title, then immediately the response will be captured. So B. So here I'm going to enter B. Okay, and then I'm going to simply click on send test button to send the test response which I have in my spreadsheet towards Pabbly Connect so that we will be able to check our connection. The test data is sent successfully. So now I'm going to submit the initial setup. And here our configuration is successful. We will cross this, we will move back towards Pabbly Connect. And here when we will scroll down, we can see that we have already received the response. In this response, we have received all the details which we have in our Google Sheets. This is the trigger column which we have added, that is B column. This is my spreadsheet name, dream destinations newsletters. Here is the spreadsheet ID, sheet name, sheet ID. You can see the row index, that means the row in which we have the data. This is row number 2, so the row index is 2. Newsletter title, how to travel on a budget, tips and tricks, and the date. Okay, this means that our connection is absolutely successful. So once we have set up this connection, because we want that whenever we are going to add a new row now, immediately without any manual efforts, the response should be keep on sending. Therefore, we have to perform one more simple step. We just have to go towards extensions, Pabbly Connect Webhooks once again, and we have to click on send on event button. As we have done that, we have made sure that now whenever we are going to add a new row over here, immediately the data will be keep on sending towards Pabbly Connect. Okay, done. Now we'll move forward towards our next step, that is for generating the content on the title which we have received from Google Sheets. Now to generate the content, because I'm going to use Google Gemini, with the help of which I'm going to generate unique, crisp and on-point content, that means the newsletters. Okay, so now I'm going to set up connection between Gemini and Pabbly Connect. Here we are going to go towards action step, and our action application will be, now with the help of artificial intelligence, as you can see, we can generate the content according to our choice. And here I'm going to use the AI tool, that is Google Generative AI, to generate the newsletters on the titles for my travel agency. I have selected the action application as Google Generative AI. Now we have to select the action event, that what we want to generate the content. Let's click on connect. Here it is asking us 2 options to set up the connection, add new connection or select existing connection. So if you have already created an existing connection, you can also go with that. But if you want to create a new connection, you have to click on this add new connection button, and then you have to provide one API key. So how you're going to get that? For that, we have the instructions over here. We have to click on this hyperlink Google AI Studio. Once you will log into your Google Gemini account, then only you can do that. Okay, so as you can see, I've already logged into my account. Now I'm going to click on this hyperlink, and it is going to take us towards Google AI Studio. Over here, we have to generate our API key. You can see the option Get API Key under Google AI Studio. We have to click on this button, and here we have created multiple projects. Now we are going to create a new key in one of these projects. So I'm going to click on Create API Key button. If you have not created the project, then you can also create one, and then you have to create the API key because the key will be created inside a project. Now we have to select the Google Cloud projects in which we want to create the key. So here I'm going to select my first project, and now I'm going to click on Create API Key in existing project. Okay, as we have done that, here our key is ready. We will simply copy that, close this, we'll move back and paste it over here quickly. Now in the same manner, you have to generate your API key from Google AI Studio and your work will be done. Now I'm going to click on save, and as we have done that, we can see that Google Generative AI is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. So let's move forward. After setting up the connection, we have to enter the details: text, models, methods. Text will be the prompt or the order which we are going to give to Google Generative AI, that what we wanted to do for us. Because my objective is to generate newsletters on different titles related to my travel agency, and here I have some points which I want in my content each time. So the text will be according to that. So in the same manner, I have just taken the use case over here of a travel agency, but for whichever reason you want to generate the newsletters and you're creating this automation, you can give the text according to that. So here for generating the newsletters, my text will be: I manage a marketing team for a travel agency. Every month, my team needs to send out newsletters featuring different travel destinations, deals, and travel tips. Generate a short newsletter for the title. So here I'm going to enter the title, and we have already received the title on which we want to generate the content in our earlier response. So we will simply map that title over here. Now what is mapping? Mapping is inserting data from previous step. Here we have our previous step, and here are all the details. This is the newsletter title. We will simply select that, and it is mapped, as you can see. So when we have mapped this data, it has become dynamic. That means it is going to replace with each and every new response now. So whenever we are going to receive a new response from Google Sheets, then immediately the title over here in this field, because we have mapped that, is going to replace with that new title of the new response. And in this way, whenever we are going to add new titles, immediately the title will get replaced, and automatically the content will be generated or every time for each and every title with the help of Google Gemini. So when we have mapped the title, let's move forward. Here I've also included that do not include unnecessary headings in between and keep it simple and engaging. Also do not include multiple symbols. Okay. So I have entered all the points which I want in my content, and I've also entered the details which I do not want. Okay. In the same manner, you can describe Google Gemini about your business or for whichever reason you are generating the content, and then you can also include the points which you do not want in the content for that. Okay. I have done with the text. Now we'll move back towards models. Okay. Here we have to select the model. You can see we have multiple models by using which we can generate the content. Here I'm going to simply select Model Gemini Pro. Okay. In method, we have two options: generate content or count token. So we have to select generate content over here. After selecting all the details and entering the text, we just have to click on save and send test request button. As we have done that, we can see that here we have received the content. In the content, we have received all the points. This is the unique content which is generated on the title: how to travel on budget, tips and tricks. You can see that we have the entire content in different points. We have generated the content, and this is very good content in different points which are going to be used in the newsletter. So the newsletter is generated. Now first of all, before adding the newsletter in our document for the review, I want to remove these stars which are given extra, okay, because they are not required and they are not looking good as well. So what I will do, I will click on this add action step button, and here our action application will be text formatter. Text formatter is an amazing feature which helps us to format the text in the workflow according to our requirements. Here our action event will be replace text. I want to replace the stars with blank space so that we can modify the content which is generated from Google Generative AI. Here replace text will be our action application. Let's click on connect. Now because it is already an inbuilt feature, so the connection is made very easily. We have to enter the text which we want to format. So I want to format the content, the newsletter which we have received from Google Generative AI, and here we have to enter the find value, that what value you want to find in this particular text. I want to find the stars, so I'm going to enter star over here. Okay, and I want to remove these stars with blank space. So here we have to enter the replace value, that the value which we want to use in order to replace these stars. So it is given that if you want to replace the data with the help of blank, then you have to enter this tag. So I'm simply going to copy this tag, blank tag, and I'm going to paste it over here. Then we are going to click on save and send test request button, and you can see that here we have received the response, and in this response I have removed the unnecessary 2 stars which were there in my data. Okay, so now we can add this content, the newsletter, in our Google document to save it successfully. Okay, so we have to set up the connection between Google Docs and Pabbly Connect. Now for that, what we have to do, we have to go back, we have to click on this add action step button, and we have to select our action application as Google Docs. So let's select that quickly. Now here I'm going to select the action event that will be create a blank document. So first of all, to add the details, to add the content in a document, we have to create a blank document, and then we will add the paragraph or the generated content in that document which is generated. So let's select create a blank document as our action event. We'll click on connect. Okay, so here I've already built a connection earlier with my Google Docs account, so I'm going to go with existing connection only. But if you want to create a new connection, you have to click on add new connection, and then you have to click on sign in with Google. Okay, then I'm going to click on save, and here we have to provide the document name. What should be the name of the document which you want to create? I'm going to give the name of different titles of each of the documents. So here I will simply map the title which I have received from Google Sheets to name my document. So every time a new title will be added in Google Sheets and the content will be generated for that, then a document will be created, a blank document with the name of that title. So here I have added the newsletter title, how to travel on a budget, tips and tricks. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request button. And you can see that here we have received the response. In the response, the title of the document is given, and here we have other details as well. So this means that our document is created. So I'm going to go towards Google Docs, and you can see that yes, a new blank document is added over here recently with the same title. Now we have to enter the paragraph. That means we have to add the newsletter over here which we have generated from Google Gemini in this particular document. So for that, we have to click on this add action step button once again, and once again we have to set up connection between Google Doc and Pabbly Connect. So here our action application is Google Docs. I have selected that. Now we have to select the action event. This time the action event will be append a paragraph to a document. So we have already created a document, a blank document. Now we have to enter, that means we have to insert a paragraph to that document. What paragraph? The content or the newsletter which we have generated from Gemini. Let's click on connect. We will go with existing connection only. Now here we have to enter the document name. So what will be the name of the document? It is entered correctly over here currently. But as you know, we are creating an automation for the long process. So we are going to add multiple titles in our Google Sheets. Multiple content will be created for each of them, and the multiple documents will be created each time. And all this process we want to be automated. Therefore, here we have to enter the document name in such a way so that it could change automatically with each and every new response. So we have to map the document name over here. So what we will do, we will turn this mapping button on. Here is the ID of the document. I will simply delete this. And now it is asking us choose or map your document from here. Okay, so we have received the document ID. When we will scroll down, this is the document ID. We will simply map this document ID from our earlier response. Okay, done. As we have done that, now we have to insert the text, that means the paragraph which we want to add in our document. So the paragraph is the text which we have already received, and we have formatted with the help of text formatter. I have mapped that, and now let's click on save and send test request button. It is saying warning, document ID is required. As you can see, I have already mapped the document ID, but then too it is saying document ID is required. So there is a glitch we can see. So what we will do, we will simply refresh the fields. And after refreshing the field, here we have blank document ID. So once again, we will map the document ID because there was a glitch. So it is the process to resolve that glitch. Okay. So here I'm going to map the document ID. It will take some time, and now we are going to click on save and send test request button. As we have done that, we have received the response. Now this is the ID of the document. So let's go and check whether our paragraph, whether our data is added in our Google Doc or not. And yes, here we can see that in the blank document, the data is added. So I'm going to open it. You can see that this is the title, and here the newsletter is added on our Google Docs, and it is saved successfully and safely. Now further, you can stop over here. Your workflow is completed. So whenever a new title will be added in your Google Sheets, then immediately the response will be captured inside Pabbly Connect. And after that, a newsletter will be generated with the help of Google Generative AI on that title, and it will be added in your Google Docs. Okay. Now further, I also want to notify my team members that the newsletter is ready for the upcoming month, and they can preview and review the newsletter which I have saved in the document document in order to make the necessary change and send to the subscribers. So for that, I have already created a Google Chat space which contains the team of my dream destinations marketing, and I want that as soon as the newsletter will be ready, a message should be sent to my team members informing that the newsletter is saved in the document. So for that, I'm going to set up a connection between Google Chat space and Pabbly Connect. In the same manner, wherever you have the group or the community of your team members where you want to notify, then you can add the application according to that. If you want to send this message to your team members on Slack or Discord, you can also add Discord or Slack over here. Also, if you have a specific team member for related to this purpose, then you can also send the message through email or WhatsApp. Okay, now here I'm going to add the action step, and my action application will be Google Chat space. So here Google Chat Hangout is our action application. We have selected that. Now we have to select the action event, create a message. How we have to set up this connection? For that, we have to enter a chat webhook URL and the message. So chat webhook URL is a URL through which we are setting up the connection. For getting this URL, we have to first of all go towards the hyperlink learn more. It is going to take us towards Pabbly forum page where all the details will be given. And here you can see that the instructions are given to us that how we have to get the chat webhook URL. First of all, we have to copy the URL given over here. Then we have to go back towards our Google Chat space. We have to go towards the name of our space. And here we have to go towards apps and integrations. Now over here we have webhook option. Let's click on add webhooks. And we have to first of all provide the name to our webhook. You have to be very careful while giving the name because this is going to be displayed every time whenever a new message will be received. Okay. So I'm going to give newsletter alert. Okay. Now here I'm going to give the avatar URL which we have copied from Pabbly forum page, and we have to click on save. As we've done that, our webhook is added, and the URL is the URL which is required inside Pabbly Connect, the chat webhook URL. So let's simply copy the URL, we'll move back and paste it over here. Then we have to enter the message which we want to send every time whenever the newsletter will be added in Google Docs. So here the message will be, "Hi team, the newsletter for the upcoming month is ready and saved in Google Docs. Please review it and send it to our subscribers promptly." Title, here I have mapped the title on which the newsletter is generated, and regards. Okay, now I'm going to click on save and send test request button, and we will go and check whether we are receiving the message on our Google Chat space or no. And yes, here we have received the message. You can see that the bot name is also given as same as we have given in the webhook, newsletter alert. Okay. So now we'll go back and we will summarize what we have actually done in our entire workflow. So we have set up connections between multiple applications, Google Sheets, Google Generative AI, Google Docs, and Google Chat in such a way that whenever a new title will be added in Google Sheets now, immediately on that title, newsletter will be generated with the help of Google Generative AI automatically, and immediately the newsletter that we have generated will be added in a Google document. And as soon as this will happen, a notification will be sent to our team members on Google Chat space that the newsletter is ready and it is saved in the document. In this way, effortlessly, the process of content generation will be done for generating the newsletters for our digital marketing of travel agency, and the team members will also be able to quickly and promptly respond towards the newsletter for making the changes which are necessary and which are required and sending it into a perfect template to the subscribers. Okay. Now, as we have completed with the workflow, I'm going to show you a live example. So as I will add a new title over here in a new row in my spreadsheet, immediately a document will be generated in Google Docs which will contain the newsletter format, and also a message will be received on our Google Chat space notifying the members that the newsletter is ready. So here I'm going to add a new title with a new date. Let's say this will be the title for the next month, 9th August 2024. Here the title will be Culture Experiences Top Destinations for History Buffs. So I have given a title, and as soon as I've added the title up till my trigger column, let's go and check whether a document with a newsletter on this title is created in Google Docs or not. And we'll go back. And yes, here we can see that a new document is created with the same title which we have recently added in our Google Sheets. And here we have a beautiful content, a beautiful newsletter generated on that. Cultural Experiences Top Destinations for History Buffs. Embark on an unforgettable historical journey. Here we have multiple destinations in the newsletter for the people who loves to experience cultural history. Now, when we have received the document, let's go and check whether a message is also sent on our Google Chat space with this title or not. And yes, here we can see that a new message is received to our team members. Hi team, the newsletter for the upcoming month is ready, and you can see that the title is automatically changed. Okay, this means that our connection is absolutely successful and our automation is also completed and it is successful. So you can also very easily create this automation step by step in the same manner which I've told you in the video. This is a step-by-step tutorial, as you can see. So you can create the same automation for your requirements in order to generate newsletters automatically with the help of Google Gemini on regular basis. Okay. So this is an effective automation which can help you to reduce the load or the work pressure from your team members by automating the process of content generation. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends. And also, please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.